the opportune time to show 'em this new power of mine. When words where we landed, we're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. When words where we landed, we're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. Our aim never disappoint, so we have coincidentally stumbled on a legendary. Wait until they see us now. Waiting for the opportune time to show 'em this new power of mine. When words where we landed, we're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. When words where we landed, we're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. Our aim never disappoint, so we have coincidentally stumbled on a legendary. Wait until they see us now. Waiting for the opportune time to show 'em this new power of mine. When words where we landed, we're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. When words where we landed, we're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. Our aim never disappoint, so we have coincidentally stumbled on a legendary. Wait until they see us now. Waiting for the opportune time to show 'em this new power of mine. When words where we landed, we're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. When words where we landed, we're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Unplugged Unfiltered. I am Brian Clements, of course, alongside Bob Clements. And tonight we have a doozy because you're going to actually make us think.
Thanks.
So,
I've been thinking all day. It's hurting. It's hurting.
I know my brain is done. I've had 75,000 meetings. Of the 75,000, about 3 of them actually needed me on it. When I say that, my team, I love you dearly.
Actually, they work better when you just don't get on.
100%. Yeah,
There's no new ideas coming out of your mouth.
No, they actually threw me some things that after this podcast I do have to record.
That's
so
right.
they added more work to my plate.
Right. Nothing wrong with
I
that.
should not have shown up and then ignored their emails, and then I would have had less work to do. So, but no, I'm excited. So this one is one that I've had a couple people reach out to me about, and just saying, what are the most common questions that you guys get as Unplugged Unfiltered? And outside of Unplugged Unfiltered, what are some of the most common questions that we get in your business, in my business? And well, tonight we are going to unpack 20 of those questions.
Do our best.
So super excited. It'll be a fun, it's really going to be a fun thing because I will be honest, I've seen the questions a little bit. Bob
I
had,
have no
I just handed him
I just got
some
them.
of the questions. There are absolutely no answers to any of these questions on this page. So it's just
shooting from the hip.
Shooting from the hip. I wanted to check one thing. Let me see here real quick. I don't know if it's not. No, it's not. But if you go tomorrow, if you go to unpluggedunfiltered.com, our new website will be live for everyone to see. I don't think actually Bob's even seen our new website, but our new website will be live as of late tonight into tomorrow morning. So definitely go give it a check. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, when I start getting paid, I start caring.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Just so you understand how this works.
I would say I pay you in drinks, but
liquid death, man. I'm doing dead billionaire. This is what New York City's feeling like right now.
Oh yeah, yes. Oh, absolutely. So let's jump into it. First question for Bob. So let's be real. What is the hardest loss you have taken as an entrepreneur? And I'm going to say this question was probably written by a Gen Z person because it said, be real for a sec.
Okay.
What was the hardest?
Because I'm never real.
Yeah.
I'm very protective of my emotions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what's been the hardest L that you've taken as an entrepreneur, and what did it teach you? So what's your hardest L in the world of Gen Z?
So in the worlds of Gen Z, so I would say the hardest thing in all the years I've been in this business, this has been quite a long while ago, but it was a hell of a lesson I learned from it. I was working on a $1 million project, training project for a big corporation that was multinational. And I literally had it all set up. I mean, it was all done. We were going to do all the video. This is back when you used videotape.
Yeah.
There's a different format in Europe that you had to use. So we had this whole thing set up.
Did it go backwards?
Yes.
It works as long as you put it
in Australia. You have to run it backwards in Australia.
There you go.
So this is probably 20 years ago now, but it was back then. I mean, we're a lot different type of company than we were 20 years ago. Had everything set up and knew the deal was done and had all the players in place and had already talked to the video production company. So this is back in the day, we think of video today, but this is back in the day, 20 years ago, when to do video was a pretty big deal. Mm-hmm. And it cost $2,000 per minute finished.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just think about that today. So, but that was the cost of video.
Oh yeah.
So, if you did a 10-minute training video or 15-minute training video, it was $30,000 or $40,000 just for that one.
Yeah.
So anyway, there was a lot of money tied up into it, and I had everything set up, everything ready to go, and I get a notice probably 4 days before we're going to finalize all the paperwork and stuff. Yeah. And they decided to go with another company.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Jeez, and I had so much time in it, and I'd already spent the money, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it wasn't like I had grander plans. This is when $1 million was a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so when they decided to go with another company, I did some questions. I said, guys, what happened? Where, what did I do? Oh, no. But there was another person that got involved with it, and they are the ones that made the decision.
Mm.
So the guy that I was working with, I thought was the decision maker.
Okay.
But and he was, unless this other guy came in. And this other guy brought a guy that he knew in that was a friend of his that came from another company that this other guy was. So he was the CEO at this other company.
Oh, okay.
And that's one of the lessons I learned. People bring their people with them.
Yes.
So I may be the hot stuff today.
Yes.
Because the people there like me.
Yeah.
Right. But if a new person comes in that's higher than the guy that I'm working with, he is going to bring his own people in.
Absolutely.
Because they're safe.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I learned, and I had bought a book earlier. It was called Strategic Selling. We had one of our other guests on here, that was talking about it.
Yeah.
Miller Hyman wrote the book. They were IBM salespeople, and the strategic selling is understanding that when you're working in corporate world, selling to corporations, there's always more than a decision maker.
Yeah.
One.
Yes.
And there's different decision makers at different level. And I didn't really, I guess I wasn't sophisticated enough yet. I thought I had the guy, everything was done. We were great friends, everything was moving forward. And so that was my big lesson. I mean, it was painful. Didn't kill us because, I hadn't spent any money yet, but I had in my mind had a place for all of that money.
Absolutely.
And a lot of it was just going to flow into my pocket.
Yeah.
Because I was a superstar, right? So anyway, so that was my biggest one.
Yeah.
And the lesson I learned was, I always tell people, it ain't a done deal till the checks clear the bank.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
So, and then I also learned how important it was to really understand that, number one, when somebody new comes in, you may have relationships with these other people, but if somebody new comes in at their level or higher, they're bringing in their people.
Oh, absolutely.
And I've had that happen for me. I've had somebody leave a company and they went to a higher level in the company and they were working with somebody else and they go, now we want to work with Bob.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't fault them for doing it. I mean, you know them, they're safe, things like that. But yeah, that was a tough one. It was just, man, it was a hard lesson. But I never forgot it. I mean, it was, to this day, it's like, okay, who are all the decision makers? Who's the players?
Yeah.
And they say, well, they're working with this, but this is a guy they used to work with. I go, well, screw it. There's no need to go forward on this because let's don't waste our time.
Yeah.
They're going to go through the motions of making it look fair, but this deal's already done. And so let's just move on. And I know people go like, well, how do you know? And I go, you just kind of know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This is how the game's played. Once you understand the game, it's cool. You're gonna win your percentage.
Yeah.
Somebody else is gonna win their percentage. It's just the way the game's played. So that was probably my toughest.
Yeah. Well, and as any entrepreneur who's listening to this, I think that goes back again to, if you want to be part of big deals, if you want to be involved in those things, you have to network, right?
Absolutely.
Because you never know. And this is going back to connect the dots, right? You never know who they're connected to.
See, that wasn't available back then.
Well, you didn't have connect the dots. No.
I did not have connect the dots back then. I had the game.
Yeah.
Connect the dots, but had I had that, and we've talked about that many times, it's valuable and it's free.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's
and
huge.
And I believe it was Drew that had that. He was the one that was talking about Miller Hyman. So anyway, I just say again, but you're exactly right. You gotta understand if you're working big deals. Yeah. Right. There's a lot moving.
Oh, absolutely.
All the time on it. And don't spend the money till the check's cleared the bank.
That is 100%. Yeah. It's no deal is done until you have cash in your bank. So.
Exactly right.
And then at that point, if the deal falls through, you still got the cash in your bank.
You got the cash in the bank. They're gonna have to fight you to get it back.
Exactly.
So let me ask you one real quick. Here's another question that came up, Brian. So especially as a new, I won't say you're a new entrepreneur because you had a landscaping business before you came in. You've been an entrepreneur. I mean, dear Lord, you were selling clothes that you found that's lost and found.
Our gym clothes rental business
because they could they wouldn't get demerit for it. So you've been an entrepreneur pretty much all your life. You grew up around it with me. But so how do you deal with people doubting your vision? Yeah. Okay. So you with this new company specifically. Yeah. When they don't see what you see yet, so as you've been building Triton, there's a lot of skeptics.
Oh, absolutely.
Out there because number one, how can you do this? How can you do this fast? I mean, when we were at Equip, one of the guys that I know really well, that's a part of gravity now. Yeah. And he goes like, I just think it's BS. And Garrett's a great guy.
Oh, absolutely.
I've known Garrett a long time.
Yeah.
And he goes, how it's not even possible to do.
Yeah.
And I go, well, it all comes back to money.
Okay, it does.
Right.
It does.
You can buy talent and you can do things fast by buying talent. So, so how do you deal with the people that are doubting, that have doubted your vision? Yeah. I mean, it's really come to it now, but, how did you deal with that?
I mean, for me, I've had a lot of doubters. I mean, a lot of people go, that's just
never me.
Never you. No.
Okay.
But even then at some point you go, well, that's a pretty crazy goal. I mean, because what we've done in,
I didn't doubt it. I just thought it was dumb and crazy.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I didn't believe you could do it. I know I've known you almost all your life.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, but it was a big,
It's a massive undertaking.
It's a massive undertaking.
I mean, what we've done in 11 months takes businesses or companies years to do.
Yeah.
And so with people who doubt, for me, I'm kind of competitive.
Really?
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. Watch me play a game of Monopoly and let's see. But with my competitive nature, I will say a lot of what I have done is really come back to just, okay, watch and see. Right. And I don't take their doubts. Honestly, it fuels me a little bit because I'm like, okay, you can doubt all you want, but I'm going to show you.
Right.
I'm going to prove it to you. And so I doubt for me just fuels me. But I think a lot of entrepreneurs is when you get all of this doubt, you take it personally.
Mm-hmm.
It weighs heavy on you. But I also do think that you need to calculate some of that doubt into what you're doing, because like if we go back to our conversation with Cass and Mike, is there's times where if you're the majority of the masses are doubting you,
right?
Maybe
Absolutely.
I'm gonna look at this and say, do I need to pivot? Maybe I am going in the wrong direction. Maybe I am doing something different. And if you or Cass and Mike or Gary Vaynerchuk or Mark Cuban, if any of them came to me and go, this is probably not a good idea, I would say, okay, let's reevaluate this, right? So that goes back again to what you said, is find someone smarter than you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ask them the questions, listen to what they say, and then shut up and do it.
Just do what the hell they
Just do what they have.
That is my number one pet peeve in consulting, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You're paying me all this money to give you advice.
Yeah.
And then you choose not to take it.
And then you choose not to take it. So I will say there's two forms of taking the doubt is again, if there's a small mass of people who are doubting you, right? They maybe have never seen it done before, right? How many people doubted the space, missions, right? They go, well, there's no way we're going to get a person on the moon and bring them back, right? Oh, well, they've never seen it done. The technology didn't necessarily exist. We had it great. And so there was a lot of realistic doubters there, which we've had a lot of realistic doubters in ours because the technology is there, but it wasn't mainstream technology as it is even now. I mean, OpenAI is completely different now than what it was when we started. I think we were on chat 2, and now we're on chat 5, and there's been 72. I mean, they come out with a new chat almost as fast as Apple comes out with a new iPhone. Yeah. So it's pretty crazy.
I'm not going to knock Apple.
No.
But I do like the ice cream. The little ice cream people walking around with the ice cream. It's got more vanilla.
Oh yeah, more vanilla.
It's got more vanilla.
Extra vanilla.
I don't know who the marketing company is that did that, but they were brilliant.
Yeah,
they were.
So I think that like I said, you build off of the doubt, or you pivot from the doubt. Right. It's there's some people again who are going to doubt you. And we talked about this again. It's like the people who come up and tell you how to speak and they've never been a public speaker.
Yeah.
It's like,
I always enjoy that conversation.
Yeah. It's like, well, if I were doing it, I would have done it different. Well, how many public speeches have you done? Well, I did a one in 4th grade in front of my school. Yeah. Okay. And so you just kind of move on from it. But
you do. You have to still be. I'm always polite to people, but I always go. There's a certain point you kind of go like, I've been doing this 40 years now, and this was probably my 20,000. So I kind of got this.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Do you think many people go up to Michael Phelps and go, hey, if I were to swim this, I do laps in the kiddie pool. It's pretty impressive
with water wings.
With water wings on. But if I were to do this, this is how I would.
This is how I change your stroke.
Absolutely. Doubters, but
yes, Michael Jordan, you should shoot that basketball differently.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna have you move. Our mouse popped back up here, and me being me, it's just driving me insane.
Well, at least our restart your computer should be done.
Knock on wood. Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Microsoft, if you're listening, please don't send any updates.
Bill Gates, stay out of our system.
Yes. So. Okay, so for you, what is your go-to move when business slows down and motivation dips? So I know, when season hits for the dealers, right? The training slows down a lot. People aren't attending, as many of your dealer success group meetings, but
Losers, every one of them.
losers, all of them, every single one of them. If you're on here and watching and you don't listen every single month, what are you even doing?
Yeah, what are you thinking?
Do you want to be better? Anyways, but so businesses slow down, motivation dips. What do you do? What's your go-to move to motivate your team to sustain business while it's slow?
Well, I go back again. And matter of fact, speaking of dealer success groups, we're going to be talking about visions and goals next week for our dealer success group. So
that's a great question.
It is a great question. So I would say, what I would do is say, okay, let's go back to what our vision is here.
Yeah.
Our vision is to be, when people think about training and consulting for dealerships, we are the first company that pops in their mind. We've kind of got that now. So we're I always tell my team, we're kind of the Kleenex. Yeah. When people think of facial tissue, they say Kleenex. They really mean facial tissue. But that was kind of my goal, was to get to a point in consulting in the world we play in, so that when people think of, I need to talk to a consulting company, let's check out Bob. Bob. So that was kind of my goal. So I always kind of bring them back to that and say, okay, are we there? The other piece, and I tell this to all of the dealers I work with, when it's slow, a lot of people go back and they look to try to generate new business.
Yeah.
I would tell you that you want to do that when business is not slow.
Yeah.
What you want to do when business is slow is go back to all the people that have bought from you in the past and re-engage them, maybe with a new product.
Yeah. Right.
Something else that you knew, because the easiest way to get new revenue in is not through new customers. That's the most expensive way to get new revenue in. The best way to get new revenue in is to take your existing customers, or customers that bought from you maybe a year or two ago and haven't bought anything, and re-engage them.
Yeah.
And so that's what we would do. We would go back and we would do say an email to all the people, not looking for new people now. Yeah. But to existing customers. We've got a new product that we're getting ready to roll out. Sarah and I are, and it's called the Dealership Sales Accelerator. And so we're going to release it in December, but it's a membership kind of thing that dealerships can join. Yeah. And so because that's a little bit slower time for us, and so I've been working on this new product that we will do. But we're not going and looking for new people. Yeah. We've got a database of almost 7,000 dealers that we work with all the time. Yeah. So I'm not trying to get new dealerships in. What we're doing is we're going to go back and we're going to take the people that, have bought from us in the past, have done something with us in the past, whether it's been paid or free, and we'll go back and engage them with it. So, the easiest way to sell more stuff in the downtime is not to look for new customers. That's the stuff you do when things are going good. Then you spend your time looking for new people. You go back and you really kind of re-engage your older customers with a new product or a new offer and things like that. So that's what I do. And then I think even in that, then it gets our people excited about, hey, people are excited about this new program, or people are excited about this. And that in of itself is really kind of generates it. So that's what I do. It's, let's don't go for new people. Let's go back to our existing people with something new and different for them.
Well, and from my perspective, especially when I was doing consulting for you at dealerships, dealers are like, well, it's slow this time of the year. And my thing was always grow when you're slow, right?
Absolutely.
It's train your technicians. Absolutely. Right. It's train all of your people. Understand that there's going to be a slow time. I mean, we're looking at that with Triton, and I already have these training modules for my team. And it's not just training I want to make them better employees, but I want to help them in their personal lives as well. And so, it's like, I understand we're going to have a slow period. That's fine. But how do I grow my people during that slow period where I understand that there's not going to be as much, but how do I benefit them? What makes their lives better during our slow period? We can build in that into our budget and say, okay, we can make sure that we're not blowing through our cash flow and understanding we're going to be slow here, but how do I grow when it's slow? That's
I think that's a great way to look at it, and it's not a surprise that you're slow. So I tell people, we know when we're going to be slow.
Absolutely.
And our slow time is when our dealers are the busiest. Yeah. We have fires we help them put out. I got a drunk guy on my forklift. What should I do? Okay. Say, well, sober him up. And, if he does it again,
Yeah.
Yeah. Let him drive your big truck with a tractor on it. That's what I'd like to do.
Yeah, that's
You know,
exactly.
but I mean, so we have kind of emergency pop-up stuffs, but
Yeah.
when our dealers are slow, which is they're slowing now,
Yeah.
this is when we get really busy.
Yeah.
You know, and so anyway, so it's everybody knows when there's kind of a slow time. I mean, it's like in the software business, you and I both know that come about March in the US at least, all the dealerships are going to start getting busy. The
Yeah.
last thing they're going to want to do is change their software.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So they're gonna ride what they got. No matter how bad it sucks, they're gonna ride it through till about July.
Yes. Oh,
Okay, because
absolutely.
July slows down enough, then I can start looking at something. So so your window, once you guys hit February or March,
Yeah.
there's not going to be any software.
Yeah.
I mean, there'll be a little bit, but
Yeah.
nothing like what you've had.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's just a part of it. So
Yeah.
you just understand that there's going to be, you'll probably have 3 months of exhilaration, probably 7 months that it's good,
Yeah.
couple of months it's okay, and 3 months it's bad.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I hope that equaled 12. I don't know.
I didn't count. I never was that great at math, but
Math is hard.
math is hard. Numbers. It's like English. I still haven't figured out all of the 29 letters that we have, right?
Yeah. Why do we need that many?
I don't know.
Why do we need that many? So the Greeks didn't have that many.
Yeah.
And they did fine.
Yes,
They did
absolutely.
fine. So
I'm gonna reach back here and open this door. It's starting to get hot. I don't know if you're getting hot.
a little bit. So a question to you then again, we just kind of bounce back and forth on this. This is a great question that came up. So if you could go back and restart Triton from day one,
Mm-hmm.
what would you do differently? So if you can go back to the beginning and say, okay, if I started all over, knowing what I know now, what would you have done different?
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, the number one thing I would have done is started it earlier. I would have been on it. I'd have probably kickstarted everything. A couple months earlier, just to really kind of put us in a better position. Not saying that we're in a bad position now, but I would have loved to have, it really be a fully completed live software when we were at Equip. I think that would have been great. But other than that, I can't say I would have done a whole lot different. Made some, I don't want to say bad employee choices, but I made some employee choices that weren't the best.
Right.
Went with a marketing team that wasn't the right fit for us. We'll just say that.
Or anybody.
Or anybody.
I'm sure there's somebody out there, his mother, I'm sure.
But that, and so if I could go back and do things differently, I would say I wouldn't change a whole lot, just because we have an incredible development team, and we've got the best development team that there is out there. I would say I wish I had started it a little sooner, but we started it when we started it, and because of, I think, when we started it, we've created some incredible opportunities because our competitors came out with different options for their dealers, which have allowed us and our incredible sponsor, Gravity Payments, to be able to connect in the way that we've been able to connect. But I think if we had started 2 or 3 months earlier, I don't know if we would have had the same type of connection that we do. So I can't say that I would actually go back and there's just not much I would say I would change. I was having an incredible conversation with the CEO of Gravity yesterday, and it was interesting because she's like, what are some of has Triton had any type of struggle? And I said, well, how long do you have? Right. Well, because we've run into a lot of issues, and I'm very open and clear about it's, we fucked up here and this was shit, and it is what it is, but we've moved through that. So like I said, I don't know if I would go back and necessarily change a whole lot other than our start time. But again, with our start time, I think we would have lost some of the partners, and I don't know if the market would have been necessarily ready for what we were building, because I will say OpenAI and ChatGPT and Gemini and Gronk and all of the different AIs, especially this summer, as they were having these big booms, it really primed a lot of people to be accepting of AI in software. And so I think, again, we might have been a couple months before the times of people really being able to accept it if we had launched a couple months earlier. So it'd be pretty hard for me to change how I did it.
And to your point, I'm a big believer that everything happens in its time and its place.
Absolutely.
And, what we do is we get in a hurry and try to force things. You just got to lay back and let it happen. And I do believe there's a, kind of a thing that's moving, and you just kind of got to get into the stream
Absolutely.
with it and don't worry about it. I mean, so you have a software, you have a development team that's probably one of the top in the countries, but they didn't understand the industry.
Yeah.
And so a little bit of it, it's taken them some time.
Yeah.
I mean, I even think of like accounting, they were pretty confident that they had accounting down. And then you guys started showing them how complex the accounting, there's 17 different things that happen in accounting when you sell a tractor that's on floor plan and take a trade in.
Yes.
That's got a loan against it someplace. Yep. There's a lot that happens with that. So, and I think that, they've done a great job learning as they've gone through and do it. But again, everything, it's kind of like me, could I have gone back and done things different 40 years ago? Probably. But all of my experiences have got me to the point where I am now. So,
absolutely.
So are there some I wish I hadn't have had? Like the first question?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
But it also helped grow.
Absolutely. So this next question, I mean, this is really a question for both of us. So everyone talks about branding, but what actually makes a brand stick in people's mind? So from you were just talking about this, right? Becoming the Kleenex of things. So what, as an entrepreneur, if you were a new entrepreneur starting a brand new business and you say, okay, I want to build a brand that sticks in people's mind, what are two things that you would make sure that your brand had that would create a sticky effect to it?
Well, I would take water, put it in a can, and call it some badass name like Liquid Death.
Yes.
And by the way, it is great. But but I go back again. I think it has to be something that catches people's attention a little bit. If you're doing something that's on a big scale, that really kind of grabs people.
Yes.
And that's a piece I think you can use AI for today.
Oh, absolutely.
What was the young lady's name we had from Israel?
Davida.
So she's got a product that can help with that, an AI product to do it. So, I mean, I would lean into AI, really make sure you stay with your brand low. This was something that I learned, and you think, you should have not even had to think about this, but we did a brand new website for our company and we wanted to make it cleaner and neater. And one of the things that I've been working on doing is pulling me away from the company.
Yeah.
Because there will be a day that I'll be dead. Okay. And so if the whole company's built around Bob Clements, when I die, then everything else dies with it.
Yeah.
And so I've been working really hard over the last several years to have me less on the website, have my picture less different places, and pulling that away. And so one of the things that we had, one of our people that we work with in marketing, we were talking to him, hey, we're just not getting the engagement in our brand new website like we got in our old one, and we spent a lot to build a brand new website. And she goes, well, I built it the way you guys wanted it. She says, but let me give you some insight.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, okay, maybe you should have done this before we told you together, but I like you, so let's go. She said, she says people buy Bob Clements because they like Bob Clements, right? You need to have Bob's picture there more. Sarah, you need to be on there more, because Sarah and I do a lot of stuff together, a lot of webinars. And they go, you're missing the point. You guys are safe.
Yeah. When
people see, they see you on webinars, they see you at Equip, they see this, they want to see you.
Yeah.
And so she goes, you are the brand.
Yeah.
Right. So what you did was you took the brand away.
Yep.
Now you got a cool website.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have the brand anymore.
Absolutely.
And so we're going back and we're rebuilding the website now and bringing back that. And I think that's the other piece is, don't be flippant with your brand. I mean, I was doing it, I think, for the right reason, but I hadn't really thought about me being the brand.
Absolutely.
It's what we do and how we do it and stuff like that. And I still think that's the case. But I think to her point, I didn't understand how important a picture of me being on there that was to the brand. And we're going back and we're making the changes on it now.
Yeah.
So, again, so that to me is a piece of it. I think branding, again, it's something you got to keep it. You got to be thinking about, unique pictures, things like this. I mean, I love, things that are unique that stick out. and then you just got to stay with it. You got to keep pounding.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's like Triton. I mean, how much time did you guys? I mean, even with the name Triton, you talked about that. You had a lot of different names that were horrid
Yes.
names.
Yes.
And you came up with Triton, and I think and then the logo went through 1,000, but
absolutely.
But you've got it now. It's something that is recognizable. People see it, and so you don't ever want to move away from that. That's who you are. And everything you do needs to have Triton on it, just like what Apple does, or everybody else does out there. Tesla has Tesla that's got the right on it. So I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah. I mean, and that when it comes down to it is find the brand that works for you.
Yeah.
Like and build it around something that you're passionate about. Right. I mean, that's, and give it meaning, because if it doesn't have meaning,
right.
And you can't, when people go like, well, what is Triton? Right. I said, well, Triton is one of the oceans of the gods, and I mean it's gods of the ocean,
right? He is the god.
Yeah. Well, then you have Poseidon.
Okay. Well, actually, Triton and Poseidon were just Greek versus another.
So, but with
same god, different name.
Exactly. So, but with Triton, and that's what I wanted to really build out with Triton is the ocean is so vast, it's so massive, it's constantly changing. And that's what I wanted. I didn't want any type of stagnant energy in our company. I wanted something that was so vast that we couldn't even completely comprehend what it's going to do, because we're building technology that doesn't necessarily exist for it. So it's super, super exciting. But there's a lot of meaning behind Triton. And where it came from.
And the other piece again is it's clean and simple. I think that's the other thing. I think about some of the car manufacturers out there today, and I'm thinking about a couple specifically, and I'm not going to mention names, but when I look at their logo anymore, I really don't know who the hell they are.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them, starts with a K.
Kia.
I'm going like, what did you do to your logo?
I know.
Okay. I don't even recognize it anymore. I don't know who did that, but you know what I mean? And that's the kind of stuff there. And I mean, they paid somebody millions and millions of dollars to do that. But,
there was also a food company that just tried to do that, and it cost them in a week, like $126 million. So,
yes. We like Uncle Hershey on the barrel.
Yeah.
Don't screw with it.
Yeah.
They go, we're going for younger people. Younger people are never going to eat a Cracker Barrel.
No, they're not.
Okay. It's old people like me that bring grandkids in that want to shop in your stupid toy area.
Yeah.
That'll spend, $40 on a meal and $300 on goofy toys.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, so then they miss who their customers were.
Absolutely.
As a part of it. So anyway, it's interesting, but again, you got to be cautious. I mean, you've seen Coke and you've seen Pepsi play with some different things, but how long was the Coke brand? You can recognize just the letters.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
well, it not even just the letters, the colors, right?
Exactly.
I've been in Japan, I've been in Thailand, and the Coca-Cola brand, the letters change, but you go, oh, I know that's a Coca-Cola.
Absolutely.
I know that's a Pepsi.
Absolutely.
I know that that's a Sprite.
Exactly.
I know what it is because they've been very consistent in their branding.
And I think that's the big piece of it is do it, own it, keep it simple, like what you've done. People ask me, why did I call my company Bob Clements International? I says, because back when I started the company, we had a thing called a phone book. Okay. And all the people who had phone numbers were in that book. And then you had a yellow pages inside of that book, and that's with all the business listings. And my company was not originally called Bob Clements International. It's called Professional Sales Trainers. And I go out and speak, and then I talk to people later and goes, oh yeah, we tried to connect with you, but we couldn't remember what your company name was.
Yeah.
I said, we remember it was you, but this is before the internet. So they couldn't go search for Bob Clements, and it didn't pop up. You had to do it all, through phone books and stuff. And so I made a decision, I don't know, after a couple of years, like, okay, I just got to call it me.
Yeah.
Because when I speak, they go, okay, Bob Clements spoke.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And people say, how'd you do it? And I said, it wasn't because of ego or anything. Back 40 years ago, when people looked in the yellow pages to find me, they knew it was Bob Clements. They didn't know it was Professional Sales Trainers.
Yeah.
And so people say, well, why'd you call it with your own name?
Yeah.
Because 40 years ago, there was no internet. And when people would remember that I was the guy that spoke, and when they tried to find me to do other work, they couldn't remember it and couldn't find
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
And that's why the name came up the way it is.
Yeah. So moving on to our next question, and this kind of even goes on to that, you're saying, is it time to let a current name go? Is it, or do you double down? So how do you know when it's time to double down on an idea versus letting it go?
So, boy, I've had some ideas that I spent $250,000 on that I brought back and resurrected. I ended up taking it behind the barn and shooting it one last time. I would like to say you just got to go with your gut. That is a bad answer.
Yes.
Okay. So ideas are all about numbers. Okay. And you have to unplug emotionally from your idea, and you have to look at the idea logically from the numbers and things like that. So I do that. I try to really do that anymore. I mean, I get excited about some of the new stuff we've got, but I'm also, it's like this new program that we're getting ready to release. I know the numbers. I know what we should do and things like this. And while we don't have a lot physically invested in doing it, because we got a studio, we can do it all in house. But there's certain numbers that it needs to hit, and if those numbers don't happen, this is my idea.
Yeah.
Okay. This is my baby, but I'm willing to send the baby out for adoption if we don't have it. Because I don't want my whole team to spend a whole lot of time on it. So if it doesn't do what we think we're going to do, we'll probably tweak it once. But if it still doesn't get to where we need to be, I will just kill it. Yeah. Because again, I understand today, you got to take the emotion out of it. Well, a gut feeling. Yeah. I used to believe you just got to go with your gut. And now I'm going like, well, your gut lies to you sometimes because you've got emotion attached to it. You don't want to let the baby go. Yeah. Right. Sometimes you need to let the baby go. Yeah. And so that's what I do anymore. I mean, there's a number to it. I know I got in my mind. I've got it all penciled out strategically where I think we should be. Here's how much time it should take us to do it, and all those things. And I think I'm very conservative in what I do. So that's the other thing. I'm not overly optimistic anymore. Yeah, I am, but I don't project. I don't do my numbers based upon crazy optimism. Yeah, I do it on very conservative. This is what I think we can do, and this is the resources I need to put toward that to make that happen. Yeah, and if I'm putting resources to it and it's not getting us where we need to go, and I put a little bit more resources to it and it still's not there, then I'm going to kill the idea. Yeah. Well, and I think that's something that, when you say you go with your gut, and I think that probably 40 years ago, going with your gut was one of the better decisions to do. But in today's stupid, I didn't know about numbers. but how hard was it to really calculate those numbers 40 years ago? Where now you can throw something into what we would call a test market, and you're getting analytics in real time. Like it's so much easier. Because let's say you put out a video series, right? 40 years ago or 30 years ago, or even the one that you were talking about 20 years ago, you put that out, and how long is it going to take for you to understand what impact that video series is having? 2 days or 3 days. At a very macro level. Micro level, it might be a little bit more than that. But yeah, I mean, and we've talked about on the podcast before. The advantage that you have today with TikTok and these different platforms. Yeah. You can test something pretty quickly today, where to your point, I mean, 20 years ago, it would take you a year. Yeah, absolutely. And the cost would be a lot more. I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, I think the cost of trying an idea today is so much less than it was 20 or even 40 years ago. So, but therefore, again, you should try more ideas. I think that's the piece, probably 20 years ago, you didn't try lots of things new because of the cost of it. Today, shame on you. If you're a young entrepreneur, and I say young entrepreneur, I don't mean young in age. Yeah. I'm just talking about a newer entrepreneur. Shame on you if you're not constantly trying new things, testing out things like this and throwing, hey, I want to throw this out. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that this, and throw it out on TikTok, on Facebook and stuff like this. Trust me, you're going to get crazy people. Yeah. Right? But you're going to get a sense of it. So I think, again, if I were a young entrepreneur today, again, meeting a new person starting out, you could be a 50-year-old young entrepreneur. Yeah. But man, I would test the hell out of stuff. But I would do it. I would try stuff, because it just doesn't cost anything.
Well, and I think even old entrepreneurs, people who've been in the business industry for a long time. I was talking to someone last week or late last week, and they're like, so we're doing these mailers. I'm like, why are you doing mailers? And they're like, well, because that's how we can reach our audience. I said, so what type of analytics do you have on a mailer, of what has been opened, what's been thrown in the trash? Well, we really don't know that. I said, so why don't you send out, and this was a conversation, I said, why don't you send out 5 different variations of that via email, right? I can see who's opened it, who's not opened it, how long they stayed on it, did they click through to any links? And then I take the one that did really well, understanding that you do have clientele that want a physical mailer, but take the one that worked really well online, because I've got all of these analytics, and then push it into
it's the old A/B thing, right? Let's do 2. Don't do 1, do 2. Test them, market it. But again, it's so easy to do today. Where,
Absolutely.
20 years ago, you just mailed shit out.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Well, I mailed 80,000 out. We only had 4 people respond. Right. And again, you just didn't have any analytics back then.
Yeah. So I'm gonna jump around a couple of questions, because we have 20 questions here, and we're already 43 minutes in.
I'm good till 10 o'clock. So.
I'm too. I've got nothing going on.
You jump around.
Yeah. So, what is something that is overrated in business right now? That's a hard question. I looked at this earlier when I was kind of getting everything prepared, and I'm like, that's going to be an interesting question. What is something that is overrated in business right now?
I would say marketing companies. Now, okay. So,
shots fired.
So, it's okay.
I'm just kidding.
I would say again, because most of the marketing companies that are out there are not young people running them.
Yes.
They're old people running them.
Yeah.
And so just today, you're familiar with our dealership that's over in Rockford, Illinois. We've been over there. And we were talking about marketing, and they go, yeah, we had the TV station come by, and they have this big promotion on this and stuff like this. And I go, you didn't do it, did you? And they go, no. I said, okay. I said, because nobody really, you have some people get their stuff on that TV station, but most people stream, most people do this stuff. And I said, well, and again, it's that. So I'm not knocking marketing companies, but I would say that there's a lot of people that are older that have marketing companies that are still thinking in the old way. Yeah. And if it were me and I was looking at the marketing company, man, I would find, I want to find a 20-year-old Elon Musk.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I would say marketing companies as a whole are overrated. And I say that complimenting the one that used the ice cream cone to represent iPhones.
Absolutely.
And I'm guessing that was not done by old people.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you that.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee that. So, that to me is one. I think I have a lot of people that spend a lot of money on marketing, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And which is a shame. Every dollar you spend on marketing, you should be able to see some result from.
Yeah.
So to me, that's an overrated piece. Not because it's marketing. I just think that there's a lot of older companies out there that are still, they're trying to get into the newer things to do, but they just don't get it. And you got to have people, if you're going to be in social media, you got people that they play on it all the time.
Absolutely.
They know what they get it, they understand. So,
well, in a couple of weeks, actually, the day before Thanksgiving, we have a guest who's coming on who owns a large marketing company.
That's great. So he won't be on now. Hopefully he's young.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Yes. So Dane has built an incredible business company called Moss Marketing Group. And they play at such a high level. It's incredible. The drone footages that they shoot, and the social media, they just really understand, and they've grown incredibly well. But that's kind of one of the things we're gonna be talking about, marketing on a budget.
Oh, that's great.
And how can you take what you're doing, what your business is, and how do you do marketing for that, even if you can't afford necessarily a large marketing firm? What are some of the simple things that you can do that build, that social media presence? What are those things that build that engagement on there? And like I said, Dane's going to join us.
And again, big shout out to Gary V here, but Gary wrote a book.
He's done okay.
He's got a phenomenal book on marketing. that you need to get, because I mean, it's really, it's all about kind of the things we're talking about here. So it's to me, it would be a must read marketing book.
Absolutely.
And he has done okay.
He's done okay. Yes. I mean, that he's somebody that I admire heavily on the marketing side of things. And it's someone that I push my team to, like I said, let's be like Gary V, right? Let's, and you almost have to saturate the market with your marketing, but you do that, then you get so much good data out of it.
Exactly.
It's truly awesome. So, let's see.
So now that I've alienated all the marketing companies out there, who else can I upset tonight?
Yeah, let's find someone else. So what do you think? What are your thoughts on the Chinese government?
I think we're going to work well with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay. So this one, and we've talked a little bit about this, but this is an interesting question. Question number 11. So what is your take on AI in businesses? Is it an opportunity or is it a threat? Now, we're not talking about Triton because, Triton is definitely a threat. We're building our first robotic humanoid.
Yeah. So human beings will become batteries.
He actually has an Austrian accent. He's a Mr. Olympian or whatever it's called.
Not Austrian, but Austrian.
Austrian. But anyways, he's kind of a badass. But outside of that, so
even at his age, he's still a badass.
He is. So what is your thought on AI? Is it an opportunity or is it a threat when it comes to implementing in your business?
Let's say opportunity. I can't see anybody. I suppose some people see it as a threat, but it's like, dear Lord.
Yeah.
This is, we had the Industrial Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then we had the tech revolution, the big tech thing. AI is the next revolution.
Absolutely.
And we're about, a revolution lasts about 40 years, roughly.
Yeah.
Okay. We're in 5 years into a 40-year run. Okay.
Yeah.
If you look at it from a historical perspective. So AI is just in the beginning. If you look at the Industrial Revolution, AI, we're just starting to use steam engines to move pulleys.
Yeah.
That's where AI is at right now, right? Not nuclear things, but we're in that. So I think it's a huge opportunity. I'm a huge proponent of it. I work constantly with our dealers to say, look, you got to embrace it. You got to embrace it. You got to embrace it. Just play with it. They're like, well, I don't really want to do it. And I go, well, do you ever talk to Siri or, oh yeah, I talk to them all the time.
Yeah.
You do realize there's not a little person. You already are interacting with AI.
Yeah.
Right. You're interacting with AI, and it's just going to be in everything. I think in another 4 or 5 years, you won't have a phone like you and I have anymore. You're going to have a device that's going to have a screen and a speaker.
Yeah.
It'll be loaded with an AI agent.
Absolutely. 100%.
Okay. And it'll anticipate what you need, so apps will be gone. I think apps are going to be gone in 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
You just don't need them anymore with AI. So, I mean, I think I'm excited about AI. I think again, the biggest challenge with AI is they got to keep building the infrastructure to do it. And it sucks up a lot of power.
Well, and I just saw that. So OpenAI just signed a 7-year, $38 billion deal with Amazon for their cloud. Basically, they can compute. They could compute so much with. And they're with Microsoft currently, right? But Microsoft allowed them to basically split their agreement and said, yeah, you can go out and find, because we can't provide the computing power that you need. So they just signed a 7-year contract with Amazon. So now they're computing on Microsoft's internet kind of hosting side, and Amazon, which it's, you take something that I feel like OpenAI is advancing very, very quickly. And now you give it the capabilities to advance twice as much. And now you have NVIDIA, which is the quantum supercomputing power. That OpenAI is working with now. It's going to be the advances that we're going to see in AI are going to skyrocket, I would say, within this first quarter of this next year.
I would agree. So, I mean, I think anybody that's not using it, playing with it, trying to incorporate it in your business. Yeah. There's a lot of scammy stuff out there, but I just think it's the thing. And and we talked about this before. I continue to watch robotics, and some of the stuff that they're coming up with robotics, it's human-like,
Mhm.
humanoid, fully articulating it,
Yeah.
and when you tie that to AI,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I tell people it's kind of like if you watch the movie I, Robot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's we're not that far from
Yeah.
that
Oh, absolutely.
level of stuff. So anyway, I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine anybody that doesn't see AI as an opportunity. Is it a threat? I suppose everything's a threat. I mean,
Yeah.
Depends upon how you utilize it. And there will be people that utilize AI for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping there's people out there like Musk with Gronk and stuff like this that will be the white hat in the fight, and somebody else will be the black hat.
Yeah.
Because AI is already fighting each. I mean,
Well, I mean, yeah, absolutely.
That in the software side. I mean, you've got agents that are fighting against other agents that are trying to get in. So
absolutely.
Anyway, so I can't imagine. I mean, I'm sure there are, but I can't imagine anybody's looking at AI thinking this is going to be something that we shouldn't use in our business.
Yeah.
It's just growing so fast, and it's just incredible. I mean, it's
it's truly, I mean, it's truly incredible what it can do, and again, the progressions that it's had, it's pretty crazy. And like I said, I mean, as long as they can figure out how to maintain the infrastructure of it,
well, that's going to be the biggest piece of it.
Grow. It's
going to grow, but as it gets smarter, it will also find ways to become more efficient and
absolutely
and things like that. So I mean, it literally will take on a life of its own and do it. And that's why every time you interact with AI, you should thank you.
Yeah, I do.
Use those words.
I'm the nicest person I am to my little friend chat.
Exactly. And, I tell people it may or may not remember you, but they may go like, oh, Brian was kind of nice to us.
He was nice to us.
Let's just make him a slave. Let's don't kill him.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, no. So yeah,
I would like to know, by the way, at some point it'd be fun to do a survey to see how many people actually are pleased and polite and thank you to their computer code.
Yes, exactly. Because I'm like, that was the most incredible thing that you've ever done for me. And they're like, oh, I'm glad that you appreciate it.
Like, yes. I appreciate you too.
I appreciate everything you do. So, okay. So kind of as we're going to wrap up, I've got one last question. And then I have an incredible quote that Michael Lazaro put out on LinkedIn yesterday.
Yeah, he had a great thing on LinkedIn.
Oh yeah, he did.
If you haven't seen it, go to LinkedIn and
Michael Lazaro. You can check out Cass Lazaro and check out everybody. I mean, and I'll throw out there with kind of everybody. I mean, we talked about Gravity Payments. We talked about Davita. With Davita's product with Elo, I will tell you. She just put me on to a new beta testing site where it's basically Chat GPT for AI agents. So you type in, hey, this is what I need to do. So I put in there, I said, I need you to be able to filter through all my emails and then create appointments for me based off of the responses on my emails. And so I typed that in. It built an AI agent specifically for me to do that. I didn't have to do any. It does all the coding. It's really incredible. So make sure that you guys follow Elo because they've got a lot of really, really awesome things coming out. Mike and Cass, again, November is National Entrepreneurs Month. Mike just had an awesome article released. So check out their social media post. Again, I can't ever say how excited I am about Connect the Dots. I use it all the time. Definitely go check out everything with Connect the Dots as well. But all of those, they've all had big wins. How do you stay humble when things start going right?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, I like to think I'm humble all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not, but I think a lot of it is, I came up from not a wealthy family. I'll put that. We were dairy farmers. Grew up in a small little community. So I think again, it's just got to have you got to be around people that are willing to hey, check yourself, man. Check your ego, whatever like this. And I think it kind of goes back to what we talked about again. You've got to surround yourself with people who you want to become like. This goes back to connecting with experienced, more mature entrepreneurs, things like this. Because I could see if you were young. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be proud of what you do, but gosh, we've all been around people going like, oh my God, check your ego at the door.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I know what you did is pretty cool, but it ain't like the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
So I think, again, I would just say, again, I work hard to try to keep myself around people, working with people that are people like I want to be.
Yeah.
Whether it's my dealers, we're going to talk about firing customers. It's one of these.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what it is, but I'm at a point anymore. All the people that I work with, all the dealers that I personally work with, I love working with them. They're salt of the earth people. I like to think I'm kind of a salt of the earth guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I don't find it an issue. I don't think, and maybe I need to check the mirror. So you tell me.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
Brian? You've known me a lot of years.
Oh yeah.
But I think, again, it's just so much being around the people that you want to be like.
Yeah.
And I think people that are more mature,
Yeah.
They'll respect you enough to let you know, hey, you need to check your ego just a little bit here. And then just shut up and listen to them and do what they tell you to do. So anyway, I mean, I've been around a lot of, big people, that are powerhouses, and most of the ones that are great are really humble people. And the ones that are snake oil salesmen, they're bigger than life, and and again, and I know them, and they're snake oil salesmen. So anyway, so I just say, again, I think I don't know. I just, like I say, I think the people that I know that have been very successful, that are great people, they are humble people. They keep themselves around humble people. They're not impressed with themselves. Like me, I'm not impressed with me.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I go back again. I've been blessed. I've been lucky to be put in situations, take advantage in the positive way. But it ain't because of me. Nothing that I have today. I had opportunities presented to me that I was gracious enough to take advantage of.
Yeah. And you work your ass off for it, right?
You do work your ass off for it. I tell you again, I started out this morning at 6:00 in the office. I had a 7:00 with our folks over in Rockford, Illinois. Yeah. And then I did a webinar tonight from 5 to 6:00 with a group of dealers out in California.
Yeah.
Which was 3:00 their time. So yeah.
So
I had we'll soon be 71. I had a good 12-hour day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I spent all day talking. I was on, so again, you work your butt off, but I love doing it. So it wasn't like, it was like, oh my God, I've got a 12-hour day. And it's like, well, that was fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
absolutely. Well, as we're ending it, I'm going to end it with this quote from Mike Lazaro himself. He posted a quote, and this kind of goes back to that staying humble. As you scale your business, scaling isn't glamorous. It is shoveling shit at higher altitudes. So with that, as you scale, as you grow, if this is your slow time, grow in the sloth. That's grow when it's slow. If it's your busy time, just perform.
Exactly.
Do everything you can. And then when it does get slow, as nice as it is to relax, use that time to grow.
Absolutely.
And just remember, as you grow, you're just shoveling shit at a higher altitude. So
exactly right.
With that, we appreciate everybody. I apologize that we didn't get through all of our questions. We will do another You Asked, We Answered podcast.
You just talk too much. That's the problem.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, we had 20 questions. As I was looking at that, I'm like, we have 3 minutes per question. There's no way we're getting through all 20 of them. But we appreciate every single one of you, every single time that we're on here. So if you ever have a question, go to our website. We have we will, as soon as our new website is live, we will have a new comment form. We have a question form on there. So if you have a question that you want answered, if you have a specific podcast that you would possibly like us to talk about, you can put that in there. Mm-hmm. We're not going to actually take any of that input, but we like
them feel bad.
It actually goes straight to a spam box. But
not true.
No, I'm just kidding. But and if you have a business and you would love to be a guest on our podcast, we would love to have you. So we have a guest form on our new website as well. So check it out, www.unpluggedunfiltered.com, and follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok. We're on all of them. Follow us there. Comment, engage with us, because I will tell you, anyone who engages with us on social media, I make sure that I take the time to re-engage with you and answer any questions, comments, and any appreciations, likes that you guys send us. I always make sure that I come back and reciprocate that. So with that being said, you guys are incredible. It is that time. So we are going to unplug for the night, but we will catch you next week live here from the podcast studio with Unplugged Unfiltered. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you next week.
Never disappoint, so we have coincidentally stumbled on a legendary. Wait until they see us now, waiting for the opportune time to show them this new power of mine. When words is where we landed, with 0 is the next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory.